At this point, Americans need to be marrying people from other countries so we can fucking escape. Like, I'm willing to marry somebody from at least 11 countries so I could leave. Like, fuck this.
I would strongly advise, if you're in kindergarten right now, start saving, baby. Go buy that house. I know you're sitting here right now, you're on the playground, you're trying to wonder who's my real friends, who's not. That ain't what you need to be worried about. You need to be worrying about, do you want a 3-bedroom or a 5-bedroom? Do you want an island, a double stove? Do you want a walk-up ramp on the outside of your house just in case for when you get older? Do you need a 2 or 3-car garage? Do you actually need a large backyard or a small? How many kids are you planning on having? Should you just start off with an SUV because you know your family is going to get bigger? Should you tile the floor because you know that your kids are going to destroy that carpet? You get what I'm saying? Should you get anti-scratch paint from Behr? So, bro, it's so many decisions. What kind of appliances do you want? You need to buy the appliances now because in 20 years, they ain't going to be worth nothing. Do you want an aesthetically pleasing house or do you want something that look like what you grew up in? You know, you really have to make those decisions. And sadly, you need to be doing it when you're 6. If you wait after that, like you wake up 6, you go to bed 66.
Hi, welcome back. So we are going to be checking out some videos on the economy. There's always new videos popping out about how bad the economy is and people having different complaints, different problems, different things that they're actually having to deal with every single day in this current economy that we're in. People are actually so frustrated and they're sharing their rants about what they're dealing with every single day. So we're going to be checking out these videos, but before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into it.
Another thing that's on my mind while I'm thinking about it, we don't need any more technology in the cars. We've done it. We've perfected car technology. Lane keep assist, cruise control, the little screen in the center, we've done it. We don't need nothing else because it starts with massage seats and everyone's like, oh, I like that. I feel bougie. Now they're talking about Wi-Fi. You know what comes after Wi-Fi, right? It's advertisements. It's AI. And then you in a rush to get somewhere. Hey, watch this 30-second ad before you can start your car. Oh, but don't worry. We have your car premium package. So you can skip the ads before you press to start. Bro, we don't need any more tech in the cars. We're good.
Okay, so I saw this video of this guy where he was saying, oh, the economy is so bad that it'll have you thinking that going out and buying food is a bad financial decision. And while I 100% agree with that, I want to put you onto something as a 20-year-old college student living primarily by herself. If you have the time and you have the availability, make it yourself. You should not be buying anything other than whole foods. What are whole foods? Or whole products. I could say whole products. Those are the things that you buy that are like solely like themselves. Like when you buy it, you cannot make it into anything else. So like a fruit, apple's an apple, a vegetable, a zucchini's a zucchini, flour, flour's flour, sugar's sugar, things that are that. That's what I do. For example, it's a sandwich bread that I made myself with flour, egg, sugar, water, and yeast. And those items will all last me so much longer grocery wise, as in I can make so many more things with that than if I just went out and bought solely bread. However, it did take me like 2 hours to make it, just because with things like that you have to wait. However, I'd rather pay with my time than pay somebody else for theirs. I also recently made my own granola. Chia seeds, flax seeds, old-fashioned oatmeal, honey, maple syrup, things like that. I think that's it pretty much. Oh, and coconut oil. While I did pay for each of those products, and maybe in total they cost a lot, I can use them for so many more things, and it will be cheaper for me in the long run. It's the concept of unit prices. Also, do not pay for pre-sliced or pre-cut vegetables and fruit. It makes no sense. You're paying for labor. If you have the time, cut it yourself. Go to farmers markets. I've gone to farmers markets recently to buy my produce. Another major thing that makes things so much more cheaper. Use that Sam's Club and that Costco or that BJ's card. Go buy your meat from there. Don't buy from anywhere else. You get a lot of meat. It's gonna last you longer, etc., etc. Or go to a butcher. Also, shop at cheaper grocery stores. I primarily get all my groceries from Aldi and Trader Joe's. I care about the organic things like that, so that's usually what I get from Trader Joe's. Also, with shopping at cheaper grocery stores, when you go to your grocery store, make sure you pay attention to the ounces within your food product. I feel like that's a given, but sometimes people do not realize that you're paying more for less ounces of a food product. Essentially, learn how to grocery shop and stop paying for labor. That's my biggest advice.
I don't know who need to hear this, but if our US dollar was good, was great, there'll be no need for a stock market. There'll be no need for assets at all. See, the way this game works, assets only grow because our dollar weakens year over year. You get what I'm saying? All of this shit is a game. It's a whole little system to this thing. But y'all don't understand it, and that's okay, because that's what I'm here for. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody be talking about Democrats, Republicans, which side you on. It ain't about none of that. It's about up here versus down here. You feel what I'm saying? The rich versus the poor. That's kind of how that works. This is why I get on here and scream the way that I scream. Because eventually, the way that it's going, we're going to get priced out of these assets, and there will be no need for a middle class. It's going to be rich and poor. Ain't no middle class at all. Even right now, due to current inflation and all that, the middle class slowly by little getting wiped out. And you putting all your money in high yield savings. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that at all. But listen, because we ain't rookies no more. You feel what I'm saying? High yield savings are just for emergency funds. That's it. That's it. Somebody lied to you saying, oh, you beating inflation. No, you're beating inflation in the interim. You ain't beating inflation long term. I can promise you that. Because when these feds cut these rates, guess what rates is going down? Oh yeah, them high yield savings accounts rates too. I'm going to say this again. And like y'all be saying, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. High yield savings are only for emergency funds. Everything else needs to get put in some type of market. The real estate market, the stock market, the crypto market, commodity market. Figure it the fuck out and do that. I promise you. I promise. After this next little downfall that I spoke on my last video, this next little downfall, you're going to get left behind. Yeah. They putting all that money into these markets. They're going to price us out of these assets. You think, Bitcoin at 90,000 now, you think some of these houses prices that are at where they at now, you think some of these stock prices are where they at now? Lord have mercy. The whole purpose is to price us out. So get on the other side and invest your motherfucking money. I promise.
I'm a financial expert, and the question that I've been getting the most over the past couple months or so is when will things return to normal in terms of the economy and money? And it's a really hard question to answer because I don't think the normal that people are thinking of will ever exist again. And I want to talk about 5 current things happening in the economy that has happened really in 2025 that I think will continue in 2026, and how to be thinking about kind of your money and the economy going forward. So I think the biggest story of 2025 was the prosperity paradox, or the vibe session, where the economy looked great on paper or in headlines, like the stock market did well, there's relatively low unemployment, there was positive GDP growth, but if you talk to most people, they were struggling financially. The prices, because of inflation going up, was really hurting a lot of people's wallets. We experienced a K-shaped recovery where rich people were doing great and everybody else was struggling. So the economy was quote unquote working on paper, but not for most people. And so then you get the second trend, which is the affordability lockout, where you have these high prices that have really not kept up with wage growth. And on top of that, while inflation has stayed pretty steady around between 2 or 3% over the past year, the actual cost for daily goods and services has gone up way more than that. If you think about groceries, car insurance, utilities, etc. And that disproportionately hurts people that are lower income because they are spending a larger amount of their paychecks on daily goods and services. So their budgets are getting hurt. They're feeling the stress more. And on top of that, the other big thing is the job market. And I think most people are aware of how just weird and frozen the job market has been. It's no hire and no fire, though layoffs are starting to pick up, which I think we'll continue to see into 2026. And on top of that, people that are looking for jobs right now know how horrible it feels with AI, where they're just applying to dozens and dozens of jobs and not hearing back. And it's just been kind of this overall shit show. And the third big story of 2025 that I think we will see continue into 2026 is the casinofication of everything. And I'm talking about prediction markets, sports betting, other types of gambling, etc. When wealth building becomes impossible or just feels very difficult for people, the system is not going to make it more accessible. It just encourages gambling. And I think we see this like mass normalization of gambling like activities, and how so much of investing or just making money these days is built around betting and taking these very high risk, potentially high reward activities, aka gambling. The fourth story is like bankification, which I've talked about before if you follow me. This idea that every company is a bank now, or is trying to offer financial services because the margins are very good. And we see this kind of almost like embedded finance in all of our activities, where you can now store your money in like almost every company. If you think about like Starbucks or like airlines, and a lot of it is designed to be extracting, to kind of separate you from your money. And I think we're going to see the continued use of these types of, financial technology in the space, where people will have to navigate kind of all these different mini financial systems throughout their daily lives. And the fifth thing that kind of connects these four trends is extraction over sustainability. And if you think about like a lot of key aspects of our economy right now are very much built around extraction. And if you follow the paper trail of why it feels like a lot of things have gotten significantly worse over the past couple years, it can mostly be traced back to private equity and private equity model, and how private equity has infiltrated so many aspects of our daily life. And I would argue that so much of prosperity, if you think about the American dream, is very much policy-based, policy that encourages or gives people the ability to build wealth on their own terms. And so much of that policy has become dismantled, which obviously opens the door for extraction, because that is typically how capitalism is set up. So all of this is to say, will 2026 feel normal? No. I would say no, because a lot of these trends that I just pointed out are not temporary things that are happening. They are how the system is working right now. And so if you're curious to learn more about kind of these trends and what to actually do and how to actually survive in the 2026 economy, you should check out my new newsletter. You can check it out. The link is in my bio.
Being homeless taught me that this right here is enough for me. I went from a nice size, fully furnished apartment to keeping my necessities here in this 5x5 storage unit. Being homeless has also taught me that $20 Planet Fitness membership comes in handy. You never know. I use the gym to take showers. I get ready for work there. I get ready for dates. And yes, I said I date. Let's not act like y'all don't date with a bunch of past due bills and payment arrangements, okay? My bills are paid. Now, speaking of bills, I was never broke. I just had to get rid of my biggest bill, which was rent. And that's when I was able to save money. One of the most important things being homeless has taught me is you can move around easier when you're discreet. I was able to get my own office. I didn't have to show proof of anything. No one assumes I'm homeless and I'm just here trespassing. I look very put together. I pay my money. I'm able to use all the amenities here. I keep my stuff in a locked cabinet. I'm not loud. I just do what I have to do.
Someone said the average millennial is 36 years old and has nothing to their name, and they're living basically paycheck to paycheck with roommates in their 30s, not married, no kids because they can't afford it. And in fact, what they do have is a bunch of debt. So their future self already knows that they're going to be broke. They're going to be poor. So we're essentially in a trap that we literally cannot get out of, no matter how much we work, no matter how many jobs we have. A lot of people have a full-time job during the week and then Uber on the weekends just to make some extra money. That in itself sets you up for depression. I mean, think about working and having nothing to show for it. No savings, no investments, no house, nothing. Then you have their parents, the baby boomers, who are essentially the richest generation ever, who were able to support a family on one income, educated, have a house, savings, retirement. So where's this American dream that we've heard of? It's now turned into the baby boomer dream because you can't even get better than what your parents had.
This is my very hot take, but if I did not already have kids in 2025, there's no way in hell I'd be having kids. Number one, grandparents are still working. Neighbors aren't willing to take care of your children. Everybody is just trying to keep their heads barely above water. So there is no more village. Don't even get me started on the economy. It's an absolute joke. Childcare can be more than rent. School lunches are expensive, and shopping for groceries feels like a damn luxury. Also, it's way too many moms that are solo parenting in a two-parent household. They're carrying all the mental load, signing all the school forms, going to all the doctor's appointments, handling all the damn discipline, and they got to go to work too.
Then it's hustle culture. Everybody is working 2 jobs, mandatory, or they got some sort of side hustle. All of this extra time that you could be investing into children, you're not able to do anymore. It just doesn't exist. Those are just a few reasons why I say just don't have kids. Parenting in 2025 feels like an extreme sport that nobody trained us for. It's no way I'd have kids in 2025. Just don't have them.
My favorite excuse to use right now for basically anything is just saying, in this economy, look, it's just a catch-all for anything. It's like a utility knife. The cashier asks you at Chipotle, you want guac with that? In this economy, you about to throw away half that sandwich in this economy? That's $2.59 worth of sandwich. You got the windows down and the AC on in this economy? Boy, you rich. Me and my homeboy was chilling a few weeks ago. He's talking about, oh, I'm about to order some DoorDash. I'm like, in this economy? Bro, the Taco Bell right down the street. I say that shit so much, I started saying the shit it don't even apply to. You want me to wash the clothes and fold them same day in this economy? Man, it's like a financial no. Like, I'm not saying no just to say no. It's the economy fault. Even when it ain't. And don't confuse this with like some victim mentality stuff. It's none of that. I call this being financially aware. And to be honest, it probably doesn't save me from a bunch of bad financial choices.
You know what I don't understand about money is like the government's always like, we're like $10 trillion in debt. It's like, don't you guys make the money? Like you literally print the money. And then on top of that, is there even such thing as money anymore? It's like, dude, I get paid on a piece of paper that tells me to look on my phone that tells me that I electronically have dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't tell you if I really actually own anything. Like, when's the last time you went to the bank and said, can I have everything that I own? All I do is get a piece of paper and then have numbers, and then I go scan another harder piece of plastic that sends more numbers to other people. So we're just freaking sending NFTs around and no one has a clue what's going on.
It's getting out of hand at this point. In this economy, y'all need to stop telling people to save $400 to $600 a week. Bitch, that's fucking insane. I have a good, crisp little $5 to put in saving, but that's all I got. Because what? And then y'all be like, yeah, y'all be getting on $5 little matcha. Y'all be getting these little trinket buy-in and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Yeah, bitch. Because if I had money, I'd be getting a yacht. But all I can get is a little $5 lip gloss. So yeah. What?
I don't care if one person watches this video and it helps one person. That will be one person who is better off in life. This is the secret, or at least a secret, on how to get financially ahead without being rich, without having a bunch of money that mommy and daddy gave you, by just being a normal person who is a little bit strategic. I did this making $16 an hour. I have nothing to sell you. If you don't do it, I don't care. Although, it is a good idea. Find a way to save some money. Here's some ways to do it. If you are able to live at home, live at home. If you're able to rent an apartment with friends so that you are specifically only renting a bedroom so that your rent is cheaper and so that you can save money, do that. But find a way to save money by keeping your housing costs cheap. Okay, we got that, right? Get some money saved. Preferably, if you can, I know it sounds like a lot of money, but I swear you can do it, $10,000 over the course of a year or two. That is doable. Set a plan. From there, get in touch with a good realtor in your area, okay? In Connecticut, I am a realtor. We have a program called CHAFA where you can get up to $25,000 of down payment assistance. This is a grant. Stick with me. This is a grant. It is forgivable. 10% of that $25,000 is forgivable every single year, which means you don't have to pay it back. It is true assistance. It's not a loan. From there, you and that realtor are going to buy a 2 to 4 unit multifamily property. Have that realtor send you properties and find a 2 to 4 unit that you can own or occupy. Use the down payment assistance. Now, it's great that you have a little bit of money saved up, but that is for maybe a little extra that you're going to need to put down, or for an emergency on something you're going to need to fix. But otherwise, live in a 2 to 4 unit multifamily. The goal should be to have the tenants living there paying some or all of that mortgage. I did this. I was actually profiting $100 a year, $100 a month while living there. That should be your ultimate goal. While that is happening, you can then pay off your other debts. You can save up a bunch of money so that you are then able to get your house or get another multifamily. But this should allow you to save money very quickly, and it will change your life. I'm telling you, you can do this with a couple of multifamily properties. You can just do it with one multifamily and then take a couple years to save up and buy your primary residence. Then rent out the unit from the multifamily property that you were living in, and that can pay some of your mortgage at your new primary residence. This is a way to get ahead, I'm telling you. When it seems impossible, when it seems that everything is so expensive and that there's no way for you to pay for your student loans or your car payment or your utilities or your rent, this is how you get ahead. This is one of a few ways, other than learning a high-valued skill, this is a way to get ahead. What is your most expensive piece in life? I can tell you, it's going to be your housing. This is how you make your housing cheap. This is how you get ahead. I hope this helps one person. Hopefully more, but at least one.
Is the birth rate going down? Why aren't any of these young people having sex? Maybe it's because we're getting fucked every day. I don't know what you're talking about. My sex life is pretty healthy. I'm getting fucked by the government every day, my job, the job economy, the economy in general, inflation, the landlords, the insurance companies, the banks, the billionaires. They're all just having their way with me every single day, fucking gangbanging me crazy style. And then you want to know why I'm not fucking? I'm all fucked out. How about that? I don't have the passion, drive, or wherewithal to put a baby in you, not even practice.
It's like it's go, go, go. You're just going and going. People are having to keep multiple jobs just to survive, just to be able to pay different bills. And it's like, you have no time. You don't have no time to sit down and be creative. You have no time to chill. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you think about this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.